sticks out to you?
I gotta say, the Krull getting through once again. This is another, it's the ebb and flow of the prioritization in drafts. We saw for a while, Krull was getting banned every single game. Now he's starting to get through a little bit more frequently and starting to be, kind of showing why he was banned so heavily. But coming into this one, obviously, with Queso picking up that victory, they guarantee themselves a share of first place. They've definitely just become some big Equinox fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Drafts look good. We got a player to watch for the side of Equinox, Alex SS. Definitely ready to put on a show for us today. They've been struggling a little bit. He's looked good in some games, not so good in others. This upset over Salty Potatoes or the very close game looked very, very promising.
Yeah, and of course, with Alex being the player to watch, got a little video from him as well. So let's take a look at what Alex had to say.
From Team Equinox, and today we're gonna face Team Qlash, who's probably one of the best teams in the world right now. So in order to be able to have a chance against them, I think we have to pull out a very good draft to secure our comfort picks, and also a huge factor, I think it will be reacting to their early.
And that's what Alex SS has to say, but he mentioned Qlash being one of the best teams in the world. Leon is a big reason for that with his versatility. We've seen Leon playing multiple different roles, multiple different hero styles as well in those roles. He's played weapon carry, he's played mage, he's played captain. He can really do any position on the team. A lot of the members of Qlash can have that flexibility, but Leon absolutely, as is expected, has been a shining star for this roster.
So mechanically gifted, but one thing people don't see but they should definitely know about is his ability to shot call. He is the shot caller for Qlash with 5v5, with the Sovereign's Rise. The macro gameplay is so important, and for players to understand and dissect the macro and understand when to go for turrets, when to go for objectives, when to take team fights is so important.
Yeah, and obviously, we talk about how good Qlash has been, how Equinox has struggled. Take a look at the stat comparison between the two. You can see a large advantage in every single stat category for the side of Qlash, and obviously they're going to be looking to continue to showcase that dominance and show that they are one of these top two teams in Europe. They want to get a share of that first place finish in the preseason.
Absolutely. Qlash does have the fastest game time out of any European team. That means that their execution is always on point. They're always doing exactly what they need to close these games out. They understand exactly when to push down these lanes, and their gameplay is a huge testament to that.
And I mean, they made a statement right off the bat this season. They were the team that kind of took off at the start of this preseason and showed everyone how to play 5v5 Vainglory. You can see Equinox, they're saying they're giving Leon the chance to adopt a baby Groot. We'll see if that's going to be coming to fruition or not. As obviously a little tongue-in-cheek there from the side of Equinox. They know that this is going to be an uphill battle for them.
Absolutely, but it's also a huge opportunity. I think the players are ready. Stress, Dowsey, why don't you guys get us onto the Sovereign's Rise?
Thank you very much. We are starting it out, getting onto this one as quickly as possible. Qlash looking to follow in the footsteps of Queso this week and round it up with a 9-1 scoreline. We'll have to see if they're able to. Equinox, they've been looking better and better, though, as this season has rounded up here, Stress. So I'm really looking forward to see how they can take it to Qlash.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Maybe we'll get some of this very early action, just like the last game. I think Equinox yesterday was a little bit of a disappointment to me, just because of how good they looked the last time we saw them with both Baby Groots playing. Yesterday, they kind of lacked a lot of that control and the flair that we had actually come to expect from that one game performance. Maybe it was an anomaly in itself. Again, another game here where Qlash, we expect them to be quite the heavily favored team here.
Yeah, and I think that, we have to kind of give props to their opponents, Rising Lotus, who have been developing almost just as quickly, if not quicker, than them. So, you know, it's very difficult to go up against a team that is unknown. Qlash seem to be a fairly known factor here, but they've changed everything up. I'm the Doom isn't available to play. That means that Justman is in that captain position. That means that Leon is playing mid. So if there's a game to take off Qlash, this is the one. We'll have to see how they can do it. Skirmish in this topside jungle as Leon and Justman are looking for the first blood of this game. Nettolet roaming with Agony. Shy very low. Will Nettolet trampoline over? Doesn't look like he's going for it.
Leon did pick up that crystal orb as well from that invade, so it was a successful one. There was also a counter invade on the bottom side by Equinox. I Love Shy, he's probably not going to die here. Will be able to get back to the turret with relative safety, but gets delayed trying to kind of contest a few more of these camps before they can get back into the action. But we just talked about how clean Queso are. I'm expecting this game to get quite messy out of Qlash. They do like to scrap and kind of skirmish as much as possible once they're out of the very early laning phase. So kind of expecting it to deteriorate at some point, but still to be a faster paced game than perhaps some people are used to when playing 5v5 with themselves.
And I'm really excited to see Pew 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 Petal enter the Sovereign's Rise here out of Nettolet. I'm really looking forward to see how this One Power Petal does play out. You know, we haven't really seen much of it here in Europe since its dominance back in 3v3 did get changed a little bit with the Critical Strike. Nettolet going to be showing us that he can on it. Petal did get a rework, but, you know, that was more towards the Crystal Power variant of the hero, which we haven't really seen since that change.
No, we haven't. I know in 3v3 there was a lot of discussion about Petal being used against Krull. I wonder whether that's one of the reasons why we're seeing that here with the Krull being taken by Baby Groot. So we haven't really seen enough 5v5 matches to know exactly how these matches play out at a competitive level. It's always funny in MOBAs when people say, oh, this hero beats this hero, and then it goes into competitive and you're like, actually, you play completely different when you're in a proper competitive game. So I'm interested to see with more games when we get into the actual regular season, how a lot of these matchups with the heroes play out.
Right, that's a really interesting dynamic that you brought up there, Stress, is the fact that, you know, whilst in solo queue, you're kind of playing a little bit of a 1v1 game in your lane for a very huge amount of it. In 5v5, it's different. Look, Qlash creeping up. This is what we're talking about. 4 men suddenly in the top side of the lane, and Alex SS and I Love Shy have to fall back very quickly. The way that people rotate in competitive is just so much harder to deal with, and you really have to be on top of it. Looks like this Crystal Tree may get stolen. Nope, but Baby Groot is able to secure it, but I Love Shy is very low, and I Love Shy will die. First blood to Leon.
First blood to Leon, a little slower than we've come to expect out of Qlash, but certainly well worked by moving up to the top lane, getting the pressure up there, forcing Equinox to split up, and then kind of using that vision control, moving down through the top jungle, and then...
Ooh, Alex has been baited. Oh, can they get the kill? No! He is so low! That was insane. Nettolet almost threading the needle on that hook and bait, but he won't be bringing back the biggest he's ever caught today. Now we have to see how they can kind of continue that pressure up in the top side.
Yeah, see if they can do that. Leon, we kind of talked about how he's now in the mid lane, getting a lot of damage down onto Baby Groot, but of course he now has to deal with a 1v2 himself. Justman's coming towards them. They might be able to set something up here if they can get that the route to lock down, but good vision control with the scout cams around this mid lane is making it difficult for Qlash to actually make anything happen here.
Yeah, so the one thing that like is very obvious and should be mentioned is, you know, because Qlash are playing with a slightly different roster with lots of different swaps, their dynamic is going to be completely off here, Stress. And so, you know, whilst we expect this to be a really scrappy game to begin with, yeah, usually we expect Qlash to be making really hardcore rotations around the map from the mid lane and really just, I'm the Doom setting up things. But since he's not here, it's a completely different Qlash, and they're kind of just playing a little bit more slower and just looking to try and chip at the stone.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially with it being the preseason. We've had a bunch of roster swaps and sub-ins, and it makes you wonder how that's actually going to last in the regular split. Like, will we see teams kind of playing without their full roster as often as we've seen here in the preseason? Because it does change the dynamic quite spectacularly in the way that you just discussed.
We do see this topside skirmish continuing. Leon looks like he may be caught out here. That's a huge stun, and that's going to be a kill coming through from Baby Groot there. with Leon dead, you have to wonder if Qlash feel comfortable continuing their skirmish in the top side. In the bot lane, it is actually disowned, and Safantu in a bit of trouble as Safantu keeps chasing down. He's got his ultimate, he's got his flask, and he is going to pop both to stay alive here. Could even potentially try and turn it onto Safantu under the turret, but would be very risky. This Fox seems to be doing a lot of work here. Safantu doesn't really want to go too deep. That's going to be that mid lane turret falling due to Leon's overextension, getting caught out in the jungle. And this is Equinox taking a fairly early gold lead for themselves. We'll have to see if they can hold on to it.
Yeah, looking a lot better than yesterday, and this is above the expectation that I had, at least coming into the game. Like, I kind of expected Qlash to run away with it. Mentioning the roster swaps, it starts to maybe not look quite as simple for Qlash as they would expect. And remember, they need to win this game to tie up Queso at the top of the table here. A loss here in the last game of the preseason invitational is basically the end for them for their first spot. They would be in second place.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's all on them. The emphasis is on them to win a matchup here against Equinox. Netolet in trouble as Baby Groot dives on in. I say in trouble, maybe not. Netolet's starting to turn this one. One shot does come through, and that is going to be Agony finding the kill.
Finding the kill, and that is maybe Qlash building back into this game. It could open up the Ghost Wing for them. They know that they can kind of regroup 4 versus 5 here against Equinox and look to shut things down around this Ghost Wing. But look at how healthy Equinox are. They may still want to take this.
Here's going to be the skirmish coming out of Equinox. Oblivion will be blocked up here. A stun from Baby Groot. Only catches Rerun, but Disown is able to dive on in. Shy has everyone hooked up. There's a lot of damage coming out. And can they get the kill is the question. Great reflex block. I see that it's a Crucible, of course, from Disown to block up that Churnwalker ultimate. But look at this. Qlash, they're continuing to go in. And they're just dying at the mercy of Equinox. 2 kills over to them. Leon will escape. Disown dives in. Is it to his death? Agony potentially could set up a trap here with the active camo. Of course, Equinox know this, and so they're going to start falling back. Malice and Verdicts, can they do the work is the question. Everyone is so low. Leon sees a quadra kill in front of him, but can he commit for it? Looking for the kills. Going on in here. It is going to be Shy, very low. Alex SS burning away. First kill to Leon in the re-engage, and looks like Agony might be able to get a second onto Alex SS in just a second with a Glimmer shot. Lines it up, finds the kill. It is going to be the turnaround coming out of Qlash.
Oh, it looked so good for Equinox when they managed to get a lot of this damage out from the Vox. Fantu looking at it saying, okay, everybody's low health. I get the resonance bounces. This is going to be great. Gets that first couple of kills. Then they kind of realize on the back end, there's this CP Kestrel that's just waiting to get the splash damage out. And as they kite up into the jungle, Agony goes, okay, this is my time to shine. Gets a couple of those shots through, gets the AoE damage, and turns the fight back around. After what was a very long setup, Qlash finally end up taking the Ghost Wing, but that was a lot harder than they anticipated it being. And honestly, I think you can say that for the entire game right now. Equinox are putting up a really good fight.
And fighting around those river shops is such a thing that you have to be scared of, because Agony was actually able to finish his Shatterglass just as that fight was midway through. And Shatterglass, of course, such a huge power spike for that Kestrel, really allowed Qlash to turn it around. Ghostwing now taken, bot lane turret secured, Qlash looking for the inner as well. There's nothing to stop them. I do like Equinox, they've rotated to the top side. They're looking to try and push as much as possible as well. But can they hold on to their armory turret here? Losing it would be such a shame. It is going to be Safantu trying to clear the wave. The engage comes out of Qlash. They're doing a fairly decent job at this point, holding off Equinox. Disown gets pulled back in. Stefantu going forward, looking to find the kills. Breaking point not quite stacking at this early levels. And here comes the rest of Qlash to turn the fight around. Stun onto Agony is good, but it doesn't find any kills just yet. Here comes that Oblivion, and it's going to put Shy to sleep, as well as Stefantu as well. Not what you want. The one shot will miss. And that's going to be Equinox at least escaping the fight, but their armory turret will not do the same. That's going to go down in just a second, allowing Qlash to open up the base and escape through the jungle.
And as good as it is that Qlash are able to kind of maintain that push, I think that's the difference between Qlash and Queso, is like Qlash to say, okay, I don't care that shielding is up on the turret from there being no minion wave. Let's just go for it. Let's just push. And Qlash end up getting it. It was a good decision by Equinox to kind of recall from the top side, look for the fight. But look at how unhealthy like the health bars are for Qlash. There is the potential here. If they can get the Vox in this fight and get a little bit more poke damage ahead of it, they could look to take it. But again, this Kestrel has output so much poker in response that I think this is likely to be Equinox saying, okay, it's only an outer turret, let's not really fight for it.
Man, Leon really wants this fight here. The Oblivion, though, not quite positioned where he needs. Here comes that poke from Leon. Malice and Verdicts. I Love Shy in trouble. That's a lot of damage coming out of Leon, but the first kill is net to let. He goes down. Traded there. Great block from Leon, blocking up that crew ultimate, and Baby Groot wants to go on in. Turret will fall down. This fight's still a-going. Leon and the Malice Verdicts, but he will get trapped up by the crew potentially. He's trying to find the kills. Safantu is able to find one on the side. It's such a scrappy fight at this point, and it looks like Leon may lose his life. I say that. It gets turned. The one shot will find the kill. It is going to be Equinox falling back here. And what are Qlash going to do here? Everyone is so low, but they figure that so is Equinox, and maybe they can find another turret. Stefantu, if he positions well, could just find himself 3 kills, but that Oblivion's going to push him back for now. Trying to get on in here. Shy misses the hook. That should just be the end of it all, you would think. I say that, though. Baby Groot is chasing. Greedy on the Crystal Treant. Maybe they just needed to leave. Disowned will be punished, and he will be sacrificed to the gods. Equinox now with an opportunity to take the Black Claw, who did get aggroed, and is going to be doing some damage from the sidelines. Interesting turn of play.
At this point, it's just Agony trying to waste the time from Equinox so that they can get Disowned back up and ready. Just kind of playing the stealth game. Knows he's got Just Man around. If they can get that shield on him, that's a big shield. Back into the fight again we go.
Yeah, it is going to be the ult coming out from that Adagio. First kills going through for Equinox. It's 3 apiece. A double comes out as well for Safantu. Qlash, this is their scrappy style that you've talked about, Stress. Overextending and giving up major leads. This should be a Black Claw for Equinox.
It's fun to watch, but it gives Equinox so many opportunities to come back in this game, from basically having an armory tower falling now to Blackclaw being in their favor. If Disowned could somehow get this, I don't even think he could. Maybe just setting up a little of that vision to try and get the one shot to come through. But look, there's a major opportunity now for Equinox to take control of this game, or at least to fire back, because this game should have really been in the books from Qlash, but they just maintained a fight for about 2 whole minutes, all the way back up towards that Blackclaw. And now it looks like we're back into a fight once again, as Equinox are going to kind of guide this Blackclaw and try and at least defend it. But I think the Ghostwing is the better option here. I think they're right to look and turn away and say, hey, now Qlash have got nothing to play for once we take this. Qlash are only going to fight us for fighting's sake, and we're already going to have this shield and this regeneration to empower us before the fight starts.
Ghostwing gets taken. There's like a 20 minion wave stacked on the bot side, about to crash the turret. And if Equinox can get over there, then that's going to be some devastating times. Baby Groot gets caught out, though, and he cannot survive. Main damage dealer down, but looks like Equinox wants the fight still. It is going to be Leon at the front line trying to turn it around. Baby Groot stuns up Disowned, and it is going to have to be Equinox falling back here. They got the Ghostwing, but they're not able to do too much with it. The kills do come through for Qlash. They will take out this bot line wave that's been slow pushing. Did claim 2 turrets, so you have to think for Equinox, that's still a pretty good beat.
Yeah, and here's the second phase of it. It's like, look at where the minion wave is, bot, mid, and top. There is no easy objective from this fight for Qlash to actually take. There's no Blackclaw, there's no Ghostwing. Both of them are down for almost the full durations of them before respawning. So really, that fight, as good as it is that Qlash go, okay, we stop them, we take away the Ghostwing buff, they've got nothing for the next few minutes. They are still ahead in gold. They are still able to now push out the waves and manage how they go. But they're taking minor objectives at best from this. And now everyone from Equinox is back alive and has ultimates available to maybe look to take another fight.
Yeah, 3v3 starting up in the top side, and everyone's trying to get in position to help out. Netiled going low does get that water wall to keep himself alive. Disowned on the front line, and here comes the rest. Ooh. Huge burst of judgment chunks down Leon, but can Equinox capitalize off it? It doesn't look likely. Kills being traded back and forth, 1 apiece so far as Qlash go in. Safantu face tanks that one shot and will lose his life, but not before he claims another victim. It does look like Qlash have taken the lead, as it is going to be Shy and Alex S turning heals, but that's going to be Shy falling. Only Alex S left alive to try and escape Qlash here. If he can get out, then he's going to deny the ace at least, but it looks like this top side armory turret may just lose its life anyways.
Oh, Safantu playing incredibly aggressive, looking to try and kind of break the fight apart in favor of Equinox, and jumps right into the one shot all the way into the damage. And I think that really is the decision that changes the fight. Because if he had been a little more defensive, I know you want to play aggressive on Fox. I know you want to try and take out these team fights as quickly as you can. But look, you jump into damage, you fall. Equinox's damage falls through the floor as well. Still in a situation where Qlash are in control, but God, Equinox, they're giving them a run for their money. And it's just split-second decision-making that is going either way for these teams.
20 seconds until the Black Claw comes back to the Sovereign's Rise here. That Ghost Swing won't be too far off the mark either, coming up in just about a minute's time. And this is where fates could be sealed here. Equinox potentially could take one over Qlash if they find the advantage, but at this point you have to think that Qlash is the favorite. Black Claw has landed the Ghost Swing as well. It's time to see where this game goes. It is going to be Qlash looking for a fight in the bot side jungle here as Equinox start to get caught out. Baby Groot once more chunked. The one shot will land onto Shy, body blocked. Chakram's flying, but Equinox are caught out. That's going to be the stop up from Disown, but oh dear, that's going to be the Cruel. Locked up, taken out so early on, and Equinox, their health bars are not reflecting a victory here. Leon trying to charge forward. Agony finds the kill. The Nova should come through, coming out in just a second as Agony and Leon take down Alex SS. Only 2 men survive, and I say that as only 1 is left alive. Safantu, last man standing, and he will be trying desperately to defend against 5 members of Qlash. The Vein Crystal isn't the target yet. It is just going to be these armory turrets, allowing Safantu to stack up his breaking point, but eventually he shall fall in the midst of a fight. An ace, a heal, and a victory for Qlash. A scrappy one at that, but it will continue their winning streak here in Europe and take this last game of the preseason invitational, advancing to 9-1.
Double kill.
Yeah, that was a much better fight out of Qlash, denying an Adagio ult to start the fight off, and they now tied up with Queso at the top of the board. Only 1 loss for each team against the other team is what basically has them there between first. So they've looked great. It's a very different playstyle to Queso, but Qlash certainly making a statement during the preseason.
Yeah, absolutely. And able to do it with a different roster than usual. It shows that they are strong all around. Congratulations to Qlash maintaining that tied first position. Let's break it down with the analysts at the desk.
Definitely not an easy victory there for Qlash, but a victory nonetheless. It looks the same on the scoreboard, and that's all they care about.